Well, hello there. Welcome to What's Up Alumni. This is another vlog to take the opportunity to introduce three former students. First, I'd like to start off with Timothy Holmes. Timothy started at the Learning Center in 1995 and continued until 2007. At that time, his family moved on to Atlanta, Georgia. Timothy wanted to stay. He wanted to graduate with the class of 2008. They were the same students and the classmates who attended the school for the deaf. That's what he wanted, but he then transferred into the public school, was the first deaf student in that particular school history who won an award, which is a big deal. He, upon graduation, attended National Technical Institute of the Deaf, majored in science. He transferred to RIT, and he will be graduating in May. Timothy loves to learn. He's going to continue his education at graduate school, and he's not quite sure what he wants to do, whether he's going to become a professor or human resources. He did have to share two particular experiences he has as an intern in the DC area, which you can well imagine must have been amazing to work in DC. He worked at the Department of Defense and Education, as well as at the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC. Did very well there. He was also a teacher institute at NTID, and he wanted to pass along his success. He had former TAs, and he wanted to give back to students to make sure that they did as well as he did. I asked him if he could describe himself. He says, well, I'm the same kid you knew in 1995. I'm a comedian. I like to have fun. I like to try to portray different people that I know. And I love to give back to my fraternity brothers at Phi Kappa Phi. And his family is important to him. When I asked how they were doing, he said when he was first diagnosed as, when he was born, his mom started learning sign language, and she has become very fluent. His other family members and father are doing well. I asked him about a particular memory that he might have had at the Learning Center, and he was quickly wanted to share his love of theater. He was a main character in one of the plays that the Learning Center hosted, the fairy tales. He was Mr. Judge Holmes, and for 2 hours he had to stay in character, memorize his lines, and stay in the play for the full 2 hours. When I asked him what his biggest influence, who were his influential people here at the school, and he says his teachers. They invested a lot of time in him and in his success, and to never give up on your dreams. And that's just who Timothy is. He's the same guy you all met when he first started at the Learning Center. And that's been really nice talking to him. I asked him who he's still in touch with. He says, oh, I'm in touch with Natalia, Hans, who he attended school with on the Randolph campus, Aaron Berry, Ben Lovell. He's still in touch with those guys, and so that's real nice. And I asked him if he were on an island with Max, what would he bring? And he thought, wow, I forgot all about Max. I'm so happy you asked me. Max, gee, what would I bring? A flashlight, a jacket to keep warm. I'd also want to make sure that I had my iPhone in case I needed to call for help, because I sure would not want to be stranded on the island. So I enjoyed talking with Timothy. Our next alum is Steve Ropp. Steve attended the Learning Center in 1978 and graduated in 91. After graduation, he went to Gallaudet University for 3 years, and at that time he thought Gallaudet was just not the right fit for him. And the reason he went is because his friends went. And he realized that was not the best place for him to be. He should have gone to NTID because he's an artist at heart. And so he left Gallaudet. He worked for a construction company for a long time. in reconstructing bridges that were falling apart, blasting the old cement and refurbishing bridges and painting, and he did that for a long time, and then decided to change fields and worked for Advocates Incorporated for 13 years. He is no longer working there. He's a tattoo artist, and he works at Lowell Inc. So, if any of you out there want a tattoo, Steve's the guy. Anything you want tattooed, he can do it. He's actually tattooed his own body, which means he's got to be an expert, right? So, Lowell Inc. is the name of his tattoo shop, where he's been working now for 4 years. Prior to that, he, of course, studied tattoo artistry for 5 years. His family's doing well. He says he's single. His work is like his wife. He invests a lot of his time there. And he's just going to see where it takes him. He's just going to see. He loves to draw. Art is his passion. He loves to read comic books. He collects movies. And he paints, too, and likes to travel. A special memory of his is when he felt that he was just with his friends. The best thing he could remember was the hill. Some of you are going to remember, you know where the Marie Philip Elementary School is? That building was not there. It was a hill. It was the sledding hill. And those are his best memories of sliding down the hill and trudging back up and going right back down again, and just playing freely with his friends. I asked him what the influences were from the Learning Center, and he said just the fact that I felt okay to be who I am as a deaf person, knowing who I am. American Sign Language. I'm very proud to be deaf. I'm very proud of my language, and if I need to communicate with anyone, I find a way. I asked him about Max, and he said, honestly, I don't believe in Max. You know what? When I was at the Learning Center, all the kids would say, Steve, do not go into the White House, because if you go in there, and if you go up onto the first, second, or third floor, guaranteed you're going to run into Max. Well, he did it. They dared him to do it. He did. He came back. He says, there is no Max. But you know what? If there were, just in case, he would bring food to the island, his tattoo kit, and supplies to keep himself busy, and those are the things that he would bring. Our last alum is Desiree West. Desiree started in 2001. She attended the Learning Center on the Randolph campus and then graduated from the Framingham campus. Desiree is at NTID. She attended there for a while, realized that wasn't the place for her, attended Northern Essex Community College for 2 years, stopped for a while, and then went to work. And she's now working at WCI, working for individuals who need additional supports. She's working at WCI. Her family's doing well. She's with one particular family and with her sister who has a son, and they often get together. Her grandmother just got married. She feels that the gay and lesbian community is very supportive. And so her mother sees that it's okay for her to go ahead and get married. And she's very proud of her mom for feeling that way. Her hobbies, she has a passion for basketball. She goes to the Deaf Basketball League and Association, and she just loves to play. I asked her about any special memories, and she, without a doubt, without fail, will mention the basketball team from freshman to senior year. Beautiful experience, the teamwork and the players. She loved the team and was very committed to the basketball team, and is still a fan of the school. I asked her what were the biggest influences for her at the school. And she felt that, she appreciates her math teacher, who was very influential to her. Her confidence in reading and writing has improved drastically, as well as the fact that she was able to help and get help from other students and other classmates with her homework and things. And I asked her who she was in touch with, and pretty much in touch with Jake Bennett. You remember Jake? She's always in touch with Jake. He has a beautiful family and kids, and she often joins him to go to the beach and enjoy some family time. The last question was about Max. What would you do? And she said, well, I'd bring a basketball, of course. I'd have to have a basketball, and of course, water bottle. I'd need to have water. And the last thing, my own food. Because I don't eat seafood, so I'd have to bring my own food. So that's what she would bring. So listening and talking to former students of the Learning Center has been wonderful, and there are other alum that we will introduce to you next.